Hi, Elynn Light, parent and teen empowerment coach, back to talk to you today about the importance of showing your distant teen that you care. So as children grow up and come into the teen years, their job is actually to pull away, to have independence and self-identity. And so this pulling away can feel challenging to us as adults, and it may even feel like they don't need us anymore, and we may get emotionally stirred up about what's going on, and we might have some emotional triggers ourselves. That's a conversation for another day and to use your tapping on. So how important is showing that we care and love? Well, the number one cause of suicide is people feeling alone. So we want to make sure that as our teens are distancing, that they have their love tank filled up. I love Gary Chapman's book on the 5 love languages for teens. If you don't already have that, save yourself all the effort and time for expressing love in the way that is not going to make your teen feel as loved, okay? You're going to be putting out effort, so you may as well have it land and get the reward. It's really important in this day and age with access to drugs and all the access to the internet and violence, because teens' brains are not developed fully and they don't have the capacity for reasoning. You know, and when the mother says, what was she thinking? She wasn't thinking. Their capacity to reason is far less than we might be giving them credit for. They aren't thinking about the impact they have on others. They're impulsive. And so as they're distancing, our ability to keep them close and connected by them knowing that they are loved is super, super important. So to bring in Gary Chapman's work, let's talk about the 5 love languages and how they apply in the teen years. So we have words of affirmation, touch, acts of service, quality time, and gifts. So say you are an affectionate person and you're giving touch, but your teen's way of feeling love is through words of affirmation. Their love tank is going to be low and they'll feel uncared for. You know, we know stories where a parent has gone out of their way to, you know, have a special trip or a fishing trip or a vacation with a child who still felt, you know, unloved, unseen, and empty love tank. So I want your actions to fill your teen's love tank, because when that is full, A, they're not desperate for looking for love in all the wrong places. It's going to serve them in many ways. So words of affirmation are going to land when you're really paying attention to your child, noticing what's special about them, and taking the time to use that specific language so they know that you see them, that you're really appreciating them. Words like, wow, you're really creative, or hey, I appreciate your persistence and hard work. So really affirming who they are, really affirming definitely who they are, as maybe about their kindness or their consideration, their any of those qualities will work. So the words of affirmation are something that we all need to hear. All the love languages need to be spoken, and then the primary and secondary need to be used the most. So touch, how do we touch our teens? It's going to change from when they're a child, when maybe they wanted a shoulder massage or they wanted their hair stroked. Now that they're teens and they want this independence, you might have to kind of jab them more or be more playful, but that reassuring touch is still going to really fill their love tank. That was my favorite with my father, and the one I have the fondest memory of was really feeling my whole nervous system calm at the dinner table when he would just put his hand on my arm, or in passing a hand on a shoulder. And you don't have to have words that go with it. So with teens, especially boys, we might find a little shove or an elbow is a way now they're comfortable with getting those touch needs met. Acts of service, or anything that you do to support your teen. It could be ironing a uniform. It could be making them a special meal. It can be, for a teen to a parent, it could be washing a car. So those are acts of service. And they cannot be used as a manipulation or a trade, like if you do this, then I'll do that. An act of love through a gift, acts of service is given. It's not a trade. And the same for gifts, since I've already started. So if your teens love language is gifts, I have a sister who has that, and oh my gosh, every time I see her, it's cards and gifts, and it's not my love language, but it's hers. So if I want to have her tank filled up, I need to remember, bring a card, bring some flowers, allow her to be loved in the way that she can really take it in. Because if I'm speaking some other language that's not landing for her, she's going to feel unloved. And for her, once she talked about, they didn't get me a birthday cake. So, all of these gifts and presents really land and are needed for the person who has the love language of gifts. It can be a note. It could even be a little chocolate kiss. So it doesn't have to always be the diamond bracelet, but that gift person needs to see that evidence. And we have quality time. So of course, in quality time, the person wants to feel that they're the most important. It's not the knitting, the meal, the multitasking going on. So this one takes time, but it's worth the investment, because then your child feels loved. So eye contact, really listening, really being present, really paying attention to your child. All of us benefit from feeling loved and feeling cared for. And in this day and age when there is so much separation, there's a stronger need for connection and for love and feeling a part of something. We want to keep, especially our teens, in those emotionally vulnerable times, knowing that they're connected to you, to the family, knowing that they are loved. I work with teens and parents, especially with the emotional bodies, to have them more empowered relationships and more empowered lives, and to get through those bumps that come up in these years of growing our relationship together. If you'd like to speak with me personally, contact me for a breakthrough session. I look forward to speaking with you. Thanks.